So AI OnlyFans models, how can they actually generate you a completely passive income? No, it's not easy. It will take some time to build up to that passive point. However, when you do get there, the journey is 100% worth it. Of course, you can skip the whole journey, if you will, by just investing a load of money into methods that I'll cover later on in the video. But first of all, I'm going to explain very briefly to those who may not know, what is AI OnlyFans? What is this business model that I teach on this channel? Well, it is essentially where you will take an AI generated female, you'll market them on social media, just like an IG model, and then you will monetize their content on platforms such as FanView, which is very similar to OnlyFans, but they allow AI models. So how are you going to get them to work passively? It's not going to be as easy as starting out with that. You're going to have to learn how to generate these models. You're going to have to learn how to actually build them up on social media, how to gain them a following, how to gain organic views via Reels, via TikTok, all that kind of stuff. That's something that will be essential to your journey unless you have a little bit of money to invest into marketing. But bear in mind that marketing is very expensive. And then what you're going to do is set up a FanView page. It's completely free, and you're going to build fans, funnel them from your social media pages to that FanView page, and then those fans are going to spend money in the messaging. Sounds absolutely crazy for someone who is external to this business model, but this has allowed me to generate results like you see on the screen now. And nowadays that is completely passive. I have a team that will generate AI content for me. I have a team that will run my marketing, and I have a team on the back end that will run my chatting and sales for me. So all this is completely passive. All I have to do is, check in on staff here and there, all this kind of stuff, which is standard as a business owner anyway. But you can get to the point where this is passive. So if we're ignoring all the build-up stage, if we're ignoring the AI generation stage, let's just assume that you've learned that. Let's assume that you've learned how to market, you've built up a fan base, and let's assume that you have a few fans on your FanView page. What would you outsource? Well, of course, you need to outsource your AI generation. So how do you find an AI designer? Extremely difficult, I'm not gonna lie. These are people that are very passive. They probably don't want to be found online. These people that are going to be good at AI design, all this kind of stuff, right? It's quite nerdy. It's quite out there. It's not a very specific skill that you'd just be able to Google for. So how do you find them? Well, I do have one solution, and that is that I own an AI model marketplace. What we do for you is we build an AI model completely for you. Let's say you wanted a blonde hair, slim model who's 23. We would be able to build that for you. See if you're happy with the results. If you are, we'll generate you however many images you want to order. So that is one way. But of course, networking in communities where this exists, such as ours, if you were to ask in a community who can design me a model and I'll do the marketing part of it, I'm sure that someone would pop up to that opportunity, because a lot of guys, they like the AI stage, they like the creation stage, but they're not very into the marketing, or not very good at the marketing and sales side of things. So getting communities, possibly on Upwork and freelance sites, but also AI model marketplace is always there. It's full of professional designers that I use for my teams. In terms of marketing, how would you outsource marketing? Well, very simply by hiring VAs to run your social medias for you. So of course, this is kind of on the basis that you already have a fan base out there, you already have followers ready to funnel to your FanView, and if you don't, I have some suggestions. But if you do, just find a VA, one that has experience with social media marketing or running and managing social media accounts, and that is of course where you can get them to take over. Let's say you have an Instagram page, a Twitter page, and even like a YouTube or TikTok page for your short form content. That VA will be able to take over that, and you'll be able to hire them if they're from the Philippines or that area of Asia. You'll be able to hire someone for $300 to $500 per month to work full time for you on that model. But if you want to just outsource this, you want to be able to gain fans kind of passively, you want to get people into your account, you can pay for marketing. This can be paid ads, this can be something like paid promo on Instagram, a mass DM, but all of these things work very, very differently. Paid ads are very difficult. Of course, social media platforms aren't going to be big fans of you marketing sexual content. When they look in the link in bio, it's going to be there, and they're not going to approve your ads. It's going to be very, very difficult to get that to happen. However, you can run paid ads on porn websites, funnel them through to the FanView page directly. That's absolutely fine. You can do that, definitely possible. Paid promo, this is where you will go to a big Instagram page or Twitter page or whatever who already has a fan base, most likely your target audience. So an OnlyFans girl or someone who runs babe pages, any of that kind of thing. And then you pay them to shout your page out. Theoretically, that fan base will obviously be your target audience, so you'll be able to funnel them very easily to your page, gain followers, and then you'll be able to funnel them to your fan view page. Now, mass DM, kind of a new strategy on the block. There's a lot of hype around mass DM, but also a lot of scams around. So a mass DM is where you will send a mass DM or a lot of messages, let's just say 100,000 messages to a target audience via targeting certain models or pages that fit your target audience, their followers. Let's just say I went to Skybree's Instagram, was to target her followers for my AI model. I would scrape her followers, send a mass DM to them saying something along the lines of, hey, I have an OnlyFans at whatever. Not that, that's shit, but I'm sure these providers that are going to be providing you mass DMs will be able to give you guidance on that. And in fact, if you are looking for a provider on mass DMs, I have one. It'll be in the description. It's one that I use, one that my students use, and one that I highly recommend. So that's kind of your marketing. Now, where would you go to outsource your back end, your fan view management, your sales, all that kind of stuff, where you're actually going to make money? Number one would be hiring a chatting agency. I own a chatting agency, no more on that really. I'm not trying to sell you my chatting agency, but the link to apply will be in the description. So hiring a chatting agency is great. They basically handle all the stuff for you. They'll pay all the staff, they'll sort the schedules, and they should already be trained. Just be wary. Some of these guys, they just use low-level Filipinos who work on $2 an hour. You don't want that. You want someone who's using, a full English team, who's actually going to get you results in the long run. That's what we want. There's plenty of chatting agencies out there, not many that work on fan view and specifically AI models, but we can provide that for you. Or you can hire your own sales team. These can be found on many different places: Upwork, different freelance websites. OFM Jobs is a new job site for OFM, the OnlyFans management space, where you can find chatters and people of the like and hire in the space people who already have experience working with agencies and marketing in the space, chatting in the space, all that kind of stuff. But you can find these chatters in Telegram groups, OFM Jobs, freelance sites such as Fiverr, Upwork. Difficult to find them on there nowadays, but they do exist. And essentially what these chatters will do is make the sales process of your model. They will make you the money that your model is going to bring in. You may be thinking, it's a paid subscription site, it's probably where the money's going to come from. Wrong. The money is going to come from chatting on that model. Fans go to there for interactions. They are going to give you the interactions that you are going to need on that account. So very basic one, but that is how to actually make passive income with AI OnlyFans models. If you are interested in further education, or if this business model interests you, you may be new to the space, I have a $47 course that will be in the description. $47, what else would you spend $47 on? A fucking hot dog at a football game or some shit like that, right? Useless money that you're gonna spend elsewhere on a night out or some shit. So if you want to start a business model, if you want to get educated on social media marketing, AI generation, and sales, that is exactly what we offer, and that will be in the description. But make sure you subscribe, tune in for future videos.